Okay, I'd like to welcome you to today's ball game between the Lady Pioneers of Alleman High School and the Lady Leafs of Geneseo. Today is May 6th. Beautiful day at the ballpark. I believe we're live, so if you have a chance to come on down, it'd be a great night to come on out for a ball game. Bailey Mitchell's on the mound. First pitch is a strike. First pitch is a strike. We're just kind of getting ourselves a little bit organized here, so I apologize. You might just be watching for a couple seconds on your own. Pete Yeager is in the truck driving back. He's en route, so he probably will not make it here tonight. So I'm going to be flying solo. So if anybody wants to make a radio debut, they're more than happy to come out tonight. Up to bat here in the top of the first inning is Ali Ferrari. Ali Ferrari, number 2. Unfortunately, I do not have the records of Alleman. Mike, you know what the record is? Nope, no records for Alleman. So they're super good. Let's just say that, all right? They're super good. I know that they've had a really nice season down there. Coach Ebner's always got these guys at the top of their game at the end of the season. They're going to be playing in 2A this year, so they got a chance to make some headway in 2A. Lady Leafs coming off a 1-0 loss. Sorry, 2-1 loss to Sycamore at their last outing. Very close game. Wonderful played game, though. Off to the right side. Easy scoop for our second baseman, Hartman.
Hartman on a good pickup and throw to first for the first out of the inning. Steines, the first baseman, is your batter, followed by Schmidt.
Brings up Madison Steins. Madison Steins, number 3. Looking around the infield for the Lady Leafs, you got Spindle from right to left. Spindle, Hartman. Off to the left and foul. Spindle, Hartman, Bineman, Thomas. From first all the way to third, and then across from left field to right, you got Cora Varlin, Hannah Hillman, and Kennedy Bicey. 0-1's the count. Off to the left, Varlin circles underneath of it for out number 2. Alleman Pioneers are 12-15. We just got that in from our trusty statistician. 12-15 overall with a 3-7 Western Big Six record. However, that is always a reflection of how tough that conference is, and we're going to find that out next year. Steins flies out to left field. Number 24, Avery Schmidt. Avery Schmidt, she is the shortstop. All right, Avery Schmidt is the shortstop, number 24. She's stepping in, the third place batter. Mitchell's on the mound. Bailey hasn't pitched for a couple games. Anna Narup's been taking the mound, but they're going to give Bailey an opportunity to throw tonight. Looks like on our dressed roster tonight we have Delaney Ostrowski on the bench with Anna Narup and Katie Jaggers. Off to the right, and that one's going to be kind of in the short right field. Hartman ranges out. Nice, easy Texas League pop out for out number 3. Now that we're going to get ourselves a little bit organized and everything's done, and we've got to talk about all the things that happened this week, we can reorganize ourselves for inning number 1 for the Lady Leafs.
And Taylor Parker is catching.
Batting order for the Lady Leafs is Ava Bieneman, Dawson Hartman, Bailey Mitchell, Mary Thomas, Eden McAvoy, Bailey Spindle, Kennedy Bicey, Gabby Allen, Cora Varlin, and Hannah is the flex. So Gabby is batting, it looks like, for
and Courtney Young
somebody. I'm not exactly sure how that goes. But she is batting tonight in the 8-hole. First inning. Sometimes after doing all these things all these years, I still get confused at how these batting orders go. I mean, we're trying to, every game it seems like they got something different going on. So at the end of the day here, we got umpires today. We got the same old out in the field as we usually have. We got unless our regular umpire is growing a long ponytail, we've got a different person in the behind home plate tonight. Third base is Tom Rusk coaching. First base, Katie Carius. Dugouts, Pat Mitchell, Bob Pettit, and Jesse Davos, and Mike Kernan. Pitching tonight for the Alleman Pioneers is Kylie McConville. McConville is the pitcher. Catcher is Taylor Parker. Bieneman's up to bat. Second baseman is range forward. Bieneman is what they call a slapper. So they have a little bit of a slap defense on with the first baseman back, the second baseman up. Everybody's sort of tight. And over the first baseman for an easy out for out number 1.
Down to the first. A good pickup there at first base for the first out of the inning.
3 unassisted. Brings up Dawson Hartman.
Hartman is your batter.
Of course, we had a great big weekend this weekend. The Lady Leafs had looked really nice all weekend. They were at prom, so I saw everybody in their dresses this weekend. Hartman in. Hartman came in with the high pitch, and that one's going to be a ball. I don't know if he went. No, she didn't appeal. So everybody looked really nice in their dresses. They had a good time at prom. Everybody came back home safe. And then they had an AP test today. So really kind of testing our wills here to see how tired we can be, and after a long day of testing. So see how we go. And not a big excuse fan, so hopefully we won't use any excuses. We just play. Hartman steps in. And that one's going to be a little pop out to the shortstop, unassisted, for out number 2. Brings up Bailey Mitchell. Mitchell steps on in. Again, as you go around the infield, you got Ali Ferrari's going to be at the second base spot. Madison Steins is the first baseman. Avery Schmidt is the shortstop. Off to the right side, and that one's going to be a little bobble, but out number 3. 4-3 for out number 3. The Leafs go down quietly in inning number 1. As you go around that infield, though, Taylor Parker was the catcher. Rachel Winkle is the third baseman. Mario Guerrero is the designated player. Kylie McConville is the pitcher. Jessica Trout is in left. Alicia Casas is the center fielder, and Courtney Young is the right fielder with the flex. On the bench there for the Alleman Pioneers is Emma Kindlesberger. Kindlesberger, I hope I say that right. Alexis Wilkins, Natalie Rodriguez, Drew Clark, Katie Brewer, and Ainsley Hurd, I believe it is. Ainsley Hurd, if I can read Mike's handwriting. Of course, Mike Ebner, the coach of the Alleman Pioneers. Been there a long time now, known Mike for several years. Excellent coach. He has his team prepared every single time he plays. It's going to be a great day today. So if you can come on down, that'd be a great opportunity to see a good ball game here this afternoon. The top of the second brings up Taylor Parker for the Pioneers. Kind of lonely up here doing this by ourselves. See, Drew Hillman's down there, local football legend for Illinois State. Maybe we can con him up here just for an interview sake, but I doubt that's going to happen. Drew's a pretty quiet guy. Parker fouls it off back to the right side. Kind of questionable whether we were going to get this one in today with the rain. Of course, with the flooding and the rain and all kinds of stuff, getting any game in this week is a positive. Off to the right and foul, because right now we're stacking up games left and right. Well, we have to play so many games in a row. And it looks like Wednesday has already been postponed due to weather. So the Wednesday game has already been postponed. That one's going to be high. If you look at this week's schedule for the Lady Leafs, obviously today we're playing here, and tomorrow we got the senior night activities with DeKalb, home with DeKalb. Wednesday's game has been canceled. Pop straight on up, and that one's going to be back and foul.
Back out of play.
Wednesday's game has been canceled. And then what's going to happen there with that one, in Thursday's game, we go to Ottawa for the great rematch if the weather holds out. Friday, we got a game at Princeton. Saturday, it looks like we have a day off, all right? Going on Monday the following week is our rematch home with Sterling. The Moline game, unfortunately, has been postponed because we need to get our other games in. The 16th is an interesting schedule. We have a home doubleheader, believe it or not. We are going to be playing Morris at 4:30 start, and immediately following that game, we're going to be playing LaSalle Peru at home. So it's going to be a home doubleheader night, and then the 17th we don't have anything, and then we get the Super Duels on the 18th. So there's plenty of opportunities to come watch your Lady Leafs. 2 and 2's to count. I forget that the bubbles are not being used tonight because I'm running solo and Keith's running the camera, so we can only do so much. So if anybody wants to come down and volunteer to run the bubble machine, you're more than happy to come up and play with the machine. All right, we got a walk.
Parker receives the walk. Rachel Winkle is your next batter, the third baseman. Guerrero on deck.
Parker with a base on balls brings up Rachel Winkle. Rachel Winkle, she is the third baseman, number 25. I see the Alleman Pioneers end up splitting a doubleheader this weekend with the UT Panthers. I did see that. Splitting a doubleheader on Saturday. Lady Leafs were victorious when we played the Panthers. I think it was 9-0 or 8-0. Missing a bunt opportunity. Everybody was in motion there. The first baseman was charging, second base was moving over, right fielder moving over. Everybody was in motion, and the bunt was missed. Nobody out, top of the second. 1-1's your count. Pop straight on up and foul. McAvoy almost was able to grab that out of thin air. Situation set. Outfield is about medium depth. Off to the left side. We're going to spin it to second base for one, and going to be late at first for the fielder's choice.
It's 2 outs with the runner on first base.
There's 1 out. Runner on first base brings up the designated player, Maria Guerrero. Off to the right, and that one's going to be in there for a base hit. Bicey had a chance to get her at first base, and she is almost out at first base, but not. Nice play by Kennedy coming in real fast, but just a little bit tardy. So we call that a hit.
Single to right, putting 2 runners on the 2 out.
Kylie McConville.
Trout on deck.
With 1 out. She is the pitcher. Runners at first and second. 0-1's your count. Ball just a little bit low. And here we go with the nice pitch. Off to the right.
That's 1-2 on the batter.
Nice Nice crowd today by Lily Lee. So a little bit sparse on the Paul Alleman side. Of course, at a 4:30 start, people are kind of trickle in after work. Got a nice left field crowd out there. Excuse me. Bailey Mitchell with the throw. A little changeup is going to be out the center field there, and it's going to be a tag out at second base. We missed the play at second base, and there's going to be a ball going right in the dugout, so that's going to advance everybody at least one base for the run. This will be a nice, easy play at first base. As that second base turns into a scored run. That's going to be a hit. So it is 1-0 with one out, runners on second and third. We got a pinch runner coming in. Unfortunately, I missed her number. It looked like number 11 was coming out there. Number 11, so it'll be in Emma Kindlesberger is at second base. Number 22 steps in. That'd be Jessica Trout. Kind of a nice wafting fly ball into center field, dropped right in front of Hillman. Hillman overthrew second base, and nobody was in the backup area, and it rolled right into the dugout, which advanced runners to home. Two and 0 is your count. One out, one run in so far in the top of the second. Trout with a swing and a miss. See if we can shut the valve off here before too much damage and pass ball. Everybody stays.
3-1 on the batter.
3-1's the count. Mitchell is ready. And it's a nice strike down the middle. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. You don't have to be perfect here. There is a base open. You don't have to be perfect. You can make sure you make your pitcher's pitch.
Jessica Trout, the left fielder, is batting.
Nothing hurt if you give a walk. Off to the right side. That one's going to probably drive in 2 runs. Nope, she's going to hold up at third. So Trout with a single past the second baseman. Drives in run number 2 on the inning. Still 1 out. Runners at first and third.
Single up the middle. Pioneers pick up another run.
Allman's hitting it where we're not. And that happens every once in a while. Alicia Casas, the center field. Left-handed batter. Runners at first and third. Strike, a little bit high, but strike.
Runners on the corners. There's 1 away.
Again, we're only in the top of the second inning, so plenty of time to go. Big swing and a miss.
Cassis is the center fielder for the Pioneers.
0-2 is your count.
Top of the order is next.
Like to get a little double play here if possible. And a little bit low and outside.
Good stop by McAvoy.
First and third. 1 out, 1-2 is your count. Swing and a miss. And that one's, you don't need to throw at the first. You don't really need to throw at the first there. However, she was off. If we would have tagged that first baseman, that would have been out anyway. You didn't need to throw at the first base. If you would have tagged the girl that was off first base, Trout, then it would have been a double play. We did not, unfortunately, we did not understand that play. We didn't really need to do that. So, whoever, at this point in time, I know we seem to be a little bit off. If we just kind of hold our heads here and get in the game here, we have a better chance of of making some hay here. Looks like Anna Narup is coming in the game. Bailey Mitchell takes out the center field, and that's all we're going to make. So it's a pitching switch with Hillman coming in. The top of the lineup, Ferrari, is coming up. And this is going to be a perfect time for us. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, why we're not warming up pitching, but perfect opportunity for us to take some time to talk about our sponsors here. On our sponsors list, we got the Hazelwood Homes. These are people that you want to have a broadcast sponsored by at any point in time. You should probably call them. Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, and thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Ostrowski down in Florida, the Ostrowski family, we did have a nice smoothie and an ice cream cone off the DQ card. So thank you very much to those guys. Eric Henderson and Jolene Barnes at Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn and Cyclery, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, Protec Auto Body, Vorak Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank of Geneseo, Pink's Paint and Body, and Edwards Ready Mix. Please thank our sponsors for their support of a TV 50 broadcast. Please go out there and support those people. Ferrari steps in. There are 2 outs. 2 runs are in. Still runners at first and third. Strike right down the middle. So it looks like Bailey Mitchell went 1 time through the order. Ferrari steps in. Courtney Young, of course, is the flex. She is the center fielder flex, so she's not going to bat for Alleman. Swing and a miss. 0-2 is your count. There it comes in throwing right out of the gate. Be nice if we could stop the bleeding when we get a chance. A little bit low into the outside. Oh, there's going to be a play at second base, and that's going to get us out of the inning. The 4 unassisted at second base. So we ended up getting 2 runs right there. 2 runs. I would say that one of them was at least unearned. One of them at least unearned. And that's going to end up going ahead and bringing up 4, 5, and 6 for us in the batting order. That'd be Mary Thomas, Eden McAvoy, and Bailey Spindle. Bailey Spindle. Of course, the pitchers are still Kylie McConville. You know, so we are sitting we're in a situation here where just cooler heads need to prevail. Just kind of calm down here and get into our game. And Pioneers, we're a quality ball club. I already said that. They're 12-15 in the year, but they played a really stiff competition, so they're used to doing whatever it takes to win games, just like we are. And we gotta get into our groove here and see where it takes us here. The wind is blowing out softly toward right field. Again, outfielders are about average depth about right now. Mary Thomas steps in. Ball a little bit outside, but called a strike. Oh, and 1's your count. Off to the left side, and that one's going to be just a little bit foul.
Foul on the left. 0-2 on the batter.
We're playing these Western Big Six schools like Alleman. Most of these girls have seen each other over the years playing travel softball, so nobody's really a secret here. A little bit low. That one bounced in there. Alleman defense is back. Mary's not really a threat to bunt. And that one's just going to be so far outside, kind of a swing and a miss to the outside, and she's going to just ground out to basically the catcher.
McAvoy is your batter. Spindle on deck.
Kind of a protection swing there. 2-3 for out number 1. Aiden McAvoy up to bat next. Nobody really here has had a good swing so far. And this umpire is certainly calling the outside strike. So we've got to adjust to that one. Off to the right side, and that one's going to be an easy fly ball to the right fielder for out number 2. Brings up the designated player, Bailey Spindle. Leafs bats are pretty quiet as of right now. Ball on the field from the JV diamond, where the Alleman Pioneers are up 4-1 right now in the second inning. Spindle steps in. One to nose the count with 2 outs. And there's a nice hit right up the middle. That'll get us going.
Good shot up the middle.
Nice solid hit up the middle for Bailey Spindle. Maybe that'll get our bats in gear, or at least give us a direction of which way we're going to be going. Brings up Kennedy Bicey, the right fielder. First hit of the day for the Lady Leafs. Spindle at first. Off to the left and foul. Lady Leafs are down 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. Bicey up to the middle, and that one's going to be squeezed by the shortstop. Tossed to second base for out number 3.
For the second out of the inning, third out of the inning.
Third out of the inning, and that brings us to our first break at 2-0 Alleman.
This TV 50 broadcast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Jolene Barnes of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Borac Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank, Pink's Paint and Body, Edwards Ready Mix. Please thank our sponsors for their support of this TV 50 broadcast.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome you back here. We're in the top of the third inning again. 2-0 is our score after our quick break and commercial break. Again, make sure you approach those sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do these things without those sponsors. So make sure you approach those guys and spend, okay? Madison Steins with the line out to the second baseman for out number 1. Brings up Avery Schmidt. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a good start for us. Leafs bats have been pretty quiet here in this game so far with only 1 hit. The Pioneers have had 3 hits so far. Base on balls, a fielder's choice, and the air scored 1. 1-0 is your count. Sun on field now. Haven't seen the sun very much over the last couple days. Thomas with the scoop at third base. Nice easy play. 6 6-3.
Second out of the inning.
Sorry, 5-3. 5-3.
Parker is
Maybe
the
I should wake up a little bit for out number
followed by
2.
Winkle on deck.
Taylor Parker, number 6. Taylor Parker steps in. Alleman's number 4 hitter. Taylor had a base on balls last at bat. Taylor negotiated her way around. Well, she had a fielder's choice put to her. Oh, and 1's your count. Again, about average depth here. Wind going a little bit stronger toward right field now. It's going to take a pretty good shot to get it out of here to left field. And nice easy grounder to narrow up for out number 3.
It's 1, 2, 3 for the
1-3 for out number 3. And now we got our groove on off defensively. Now we got to get our bats rolling offensively. At the bottom of the third, going in the bottom of the third inning here, we've got 1 hit on the day, and that's very shocking for our Lady Leafs. We usually have a couple 3 hits, or at least pressure just a little bit. I'd like to get the batting order turned over at least once, so we can see what we look like on the second time through. We've kind of been some pretty weak attempts here in the first round through. Our batting order is going to bring up Gabby Allen, number 8 hitter, Cora Varlin, number 9, and then brings us back to the top with Ava Bieneman. See if we can put a little pressure here on the Alleman Lady Pioneers.
Gabby Allen, Varlin, and the top of the order.
McConville is on the mound still, of course.
Allen will lead it off.
Allen in. A little bit high.
We've got Russ coaching at third and Kerry is coaching at first.
Ball in the inside corner. One and one's your count on Allen. Off to the right. Easy pop fly.
I'll put the second for
Out number 1. Brings up Cora Varlin.
Cora Varlin, the left fielder, is the batter, followed by Bieneman.
Right now, see if Cora, the number 9 hitter in our order, can start something up for us as we go to the top. Swing and a miss. Left fielder is a little bit deeper than normal. Everybody else is about regular depth. Pop straight up to the left side, and that one's going to be well out of play.
All off to the left and out of play.
0-2 is your count.
0-2 on Varlin.
Do have 1 out. Kind of a waste pitch out there. It was way outside. See if Varlin would chase. No go. Off to the left and foul. Varlin steps in. All right, Varlin has worked the count to 2-2.
2-2 on the bat.
Again, it's a beautiful day out here. Yeah, still got opportunity being only the bottom of the third inning. You can come out here and watch the last couple innings. Swing and a miss for strike number 3 for the second out of the inning. Brings up the very top of the lineup, Ava Bieneman. the top of the lineup, Ava Bieneman, is coming on up. See if Ava can get something going with 2 outs. Alleman's defense is flexed with the second baseman forward. That was a bit of a high ball, but they called that a strike. Oh, that one's right up the middle. And again, Bieneman with a solid, sharp single up the middle. Again, second time through the order. Maybe we're seeing the ball just a little bit better. That's Lady Lee's second hit of the day. Brings up Dawson Hartman. Bottom of the third with only our second hit of the day. Hartman popped out to the shortstop. Last at bat. Off to the left side, and that one's going to be in the left field for a solid, sharp single. Third hit. So we are heading around the bases now with 2 outs. Brings up Bailey Mitchell. Bailey grounded out to the second baseman on a 4-3 putout in the first inning. See if Mitchell can get a better view of the bat or the ball coming in. Again, we're putting a little pressure on the Pioneers right now, one with runners at first and second. However, there are 2 outs with the Pioneers leading 2-0. A little bit outside. It's been kind of a strike all day. I was a little shocked that we haven't called that a strike. She's set up way on the inside corner. I'm not sure how she's seeing the outside corner. Two 2-0 is your count. Gotta love the hit here. If this one's in there, you want to swing out your heels and see if you can put it into the Turpin's Motors parking lot. There it is. She swung out her heels, and Bieneman's going to wheel around second from third base, and she's going to score. Bieneman's going to score, so that's 3 hits in a row and an RBI for.
We still have runners on first and second. Nobody scored a run.
The Lady Leafs. Brings up Mary Thomas. See if Mary Thomas can get the 4th hit in a row.
Mary Thomas is your batter.
That makes her score 2-1. Runners at first and second. See if Mary can hit it hard somewhere. And that's off to the right side, and that one's not going to be hard anywhere for out number 3.
We pick up a run.
Not swinging terribly well today, but we're got a lot of game left. At any rate, we cut the lead in half with the 2-1 score. It is 2-1 going into the top of the 4th inning. So we made a little progress that inning. Not all's lost. Going to bring up number 25, Rachel Wilkin. Narup goes back on out. Take some time here in between. Here we got the TV 50 broadcast is sponsored by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Jolene Barnes of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn and Cyclery, Vandermoor Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Borac Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank, Pink's Paint and Body, Edwards Ready Mix. Please thank our sponsors for their support of this TV 50 broadcast. Please get out there. Bye, bye, bye. Brings up Rachel Wilkins. Wilkins had a fielder's choice to get to first base last time. Off to the left side. Thomas is going to scoop and throw her out. 5-3 for out number 1. Boy, since Narup has come in the game, the things have really settled down for the Lady Leafs. In top of the 4th inning. All right, number 13 is up to bat. That's going to be the flex, Courtney Young. Courtney Young is up to bat. and she is going to be batting for Maria Guerrero. Courtney Young is the center fielder and the
Courtney
flex,
Young
so
is
she's
the
going to be
batter.
batting for Guerrero, the number 6 hitter. Ebner pulling a string here, maybe trying to get a quick girl on base. I don't know. I've never seen her play. Off to the right and foul.
1-1 on the batter.
Going to even the count at 1-1. 1 out. 2-1 the Pioneers in the top of the 4th inning. Least put together 3 hits in a row and got a run last inning. And Narup has pretty much settled the score here and settled everybody down offensively for the Pioneers so far. This is going to be one of those grinded out games for these girls. They're just going to have to. This is one of those games that I call you make you salty, where you got to win a game that you're kind of struggling in. So this is a game that gets you tough. We got to be able to get this back to our favor. Narup's doing her part on the mound. That one's a little wide. 2-2 is your count.
She went to swing. So to the top of the plate, she went to swing.
Full count on the batter.
Narup with the pitch. Off to the right and foul.
Foul off to the right.
JV game right now, it looks like in the top of the 3rd inning, it is 4-1 Lady Pioneers with 2 outs. Here it's the 2-1 for the Pioneers in the varsity game, top of the 4th inning. Courtney Young batting. Swing and a miss
And a miss. Well, the second out of the
for
inning.
out number 2 on the inning. Brings up Kylie McConville. She got a hit last time. Drove in a run.
McConville is your next batter.
McConville, the pitcher on the day, helped herself out in the 2nd inning. Getting a hit and an RBI. Nobody on base. Fouled it straight back. Had a pretty good swing on that one. Wow, that's a pop fly to the center fielder, kind of in the sun field, but Bailey Mitchell ranges over and grabs it for out number 3.
Was under it for the third out of the inning. 1, 2, 3.
Again, Narup's doing a masterful job of shutting down the Pioneers since she's come in the game. Now we got to go back to where our struggles are so far today with only 3 hits in the day. McConville's done an excellent job shutting down the Lady Leafs offense today, but we're going to bring us Eden McAvoy, Bailey Spindle, and Kennedy Bicey.
Will lead it off.
5, 6, and 7 in our batting order. Eden flew out to the right fielder in the 2nd inning. Spindle was able to get a hit, and Kennedy Bicey had a 6-4 put out in the 2nd. Still, we got the battery of McConville and Parker.
I don't think he made any fielding changes. It was just the DP hitting for the flies.
Alleman's got everybody in the same position as the first 4 innings. Brings in Eden McAvoy for her 2nd time at bat today. Wide to the outside. This is going to be a good turning point inning for the Lady Leafs. Again, we got put a couple things going together. Things haven't gone our way so far, but we'll see how it goes. A little low to the inside. It all starts with quality at bats. Kind of nice seeing the sunshine again today. Been so rainy and gloomy over the last week or so. It's been nice to see the sun for the last couple days and drying everything out. And then get the basement workers to come in and fix everybody's basements, huh? That's exactly right. And off to the left side, that's going to be grabbed by the third baseman
The third would pick up and throw for the
on a 5-3 put out for out number 1. Shout out to Fulcher's Waterproofing and
Spindle's your batter.
free advertising if he comes and does my house real fast. Fulcher's Waterproofing out of Moline came out to my house the other night. Well, hopefully we'll get him in as fast as possible. Off to the left side, that one's driven pretty deep. Fly ball, left fielder makes a nice play. Actually, I think she was almost in foul territory, but a beautiful catch. 7 unassisted for out number 2. Pretty quick inning so far. Kennedy Bicey steps in. Kennedy grounded out to the shortstop last at bat in the second inning. That's a nice strike down the middle. Bottom of the 4th inning again. There are 2 outs. Off to the left side, and that's a line out to the third baseman for out number 3. And that's going to take us to our to our next break. 2-1 Pioneers.
This TV 50 broadcast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Jolene Barnes of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Borac Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank, Pink's Paint and Body, Edwards Ready Mix. Please thank our sponsors for their support of this TV 50 broadcast.
All right, well, welcome us back here to the top of the 5th inning. Again, Lady Leafs are down 2-1, so this is one of those games where we got to have a nice comeback. We got 9 outs left. 9 outs left, but Jessica Trout is in. Alleman is going to try to add on here. Trout with a base hit and an RBI last inning. One of the 2 RBIs in the day. Narup's done a nice job of shutting down the offense up to this point, so hopefully we can keep on keeping on defensively and grind out a couple runs offensively. That first inning faux pas that we had, were actually the second inning faux pas where we had a couple ball go into the dugout. It's going to come back and kill us here. I hate to see that happen. One ball, 2 strikes. On Trout, left fielders made a really nice play defensively last inning. Off to the right side, and that one's going to be a foul ball. Would have liked to see her pick that up and tag it, but at any rate, it goes foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter leading off.
Trout gets another chance. And the umpire raises her hand to call strike 3. but calls ball. I'm not sure what she saw there, but that's not my call. And right now, nobody knows what the count is. Looks like it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Everybody's confused there for a second. The umpire kind of did the old trick-a-rooney here. He got 2 balls. She raised her hand. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now it was 1 and 2. Now it's 2 and 2. I'm not sure anybody knows what's going on. And at the end of the day, the same pitch was thrown in the same exact spot. This one for a strike. Strikeout.
Cassis is your batter, followed by the top of the order.
Cassis comes in. Cassis was a victim of a strikeout last at bat. I'm not going to talk too much about the umpire. It's a hard job umpiring. It's an easy job for everybody to be critical. It's harder to actually do the job. So it's nice to see a young person umpiring, and hopefully they'll stick it out and it keeps the game going. Oh and 2 is your count. Narup's in. An 0-2 count. That one's a really hard hit ball, and that one's probably going to be a home run, just barely inside the foul pole. Barely inside the foul pole, and she gets a home run, so the Pioneers get that run back. That one was a long drive to the right side. It just barely wrapped right around the foul pole. Almost hit the person sitting out there in the chair. She turned on that one. She didn't miss anything on that pitch. Wind is blowing out to right, but I think it would have been a home run no matter what. So Cassis with a nice shot. Home run. Brings up the top of the batting order, Ferrari. Off to the right and foul.
Ferrari is your batter. Steinitz is next.
With 1 out, that makes the game 3-1, the Pioneers. Off to the left side, Thomas scoops, throws across, and over the top of Spindle. Error on the third baseman.
It's a runner on first base on that wild throw.
E5 advances Ferrari to first base. And the
Steinitz is your batter.
day continues. Off to the left and foul.
Steinitz is the second batter in their lineup.
So far, the day of frustration has continued for the Lady Leafs, and the Pioneers are taking full advantage of the situation here. Off to the left, and that one's driven hard. Way out to the fence. Going to be off the ball, off the wall. Barlin throws it on in. Got a double. A double for Steins.
We have runners on second and third.
Advances runners to second and third with 1 out. She did not miss that pitch at all. Now we got the number 3 hitter, Avery Schmidt, the shortstop. Schmidt flew out to the second baseman and then grounded out to the third baseman in the first and second innings. Sorry, third innings. Runners at second and third, and we got ourselves in a predicament here. Narup's going to have to make some quality pitches to get an out by herself, and then get out the inning. Infield is drawn in tight, so you got to love the hit here if you're the Pioneers. And the umpire again is kind of tricking us a little bit. She's throwing her hand up and then kind of second guessing herself. But at any rate, 0-2's the count with 1 strike. With 1 out. And that one's popped to the left. We got to get there. We got to get there. And that one's not going to be caught. He's kind of in no man's land. second base, the shortstop had a long way to go playing in. Thomas avoided the third base person, and that kind of slowed up the progress getting over there. But that was one we needed to get. Narup with the pitch off to the center fielder, and that one's going to be a tag up, and they're going to be a throw at home plate, but she's going to scurry herself on back for out number 2. So Narup coaxes a fly ball for out number 2.
Runners were able to advance.
Out number 2 in the day brings up Taylor Parker. Taylor Parker, the second inning, had a base on balls, and the third inning, she was out 1-3. See if Narup can get a hit, and that one's going to be into the center field, and we're going to have 1 run score thrown in here. RBI by Parker.
Pioneers pick up another run.
And Mike Kernan comes on out, and he's going to be talking a little bit to our pitcher.
Time for Geneseo.
So the air has allowed the inning to continue, and the Pioneers are taking advantage early on before the air with a home run, and then a couple hits have driven in another run. So it is 4-1, bringing up Rachel Wilkin. Wilkin had a fielder's choice in the second inning, and in the fourth inning was a 5-3 putout. Runners are going to be at first and third. They at least are down 4-1 at this particular time.
Rachel Winkle is your batter. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Rachel Winkle steps in, runners at first and third. There's a strike. There are 2 outs. Big swing and a miss.
0-2 on the batter.
So the seeding should be coming out tomorrow for regionals. Of course, the Alleman Pioneers will be in 2A. So this game is just kind of the game that we're playing today. Not really a practice game, just a game on the schedule. Most likely the Lady Leafs will be heading down toward Galesburg, either Peoria, Notre Dame, or Galesburg. It'd be nice to get a win tonight. I'm not sure when the seating meeting was. This is going to be over to the third baseman. Third baseman ranges over. A 5-3 putout to end the inning. At any rate, we got two more runs. Makes the game 4-1 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. So Winkle grounds out to the third baseman, and that flips our card over to the bottom of the 5th inning, which we are still kind of grinding our stuff out here. Still have not even gone to the 3rd time through the order. We're still in the 2nd time through the order. So Gabby Allen in the bottom of the 5th inning, getting her 2nd at bat of the game. So Gabby Allen, Cora Varlin, and then Ava Bieneman.
Allen will lead it off, followed by Harlan, and then David.
So we got Kylie McConville, done a great job so far today. So 2nd time up for Gabby Allen. Gabby Allen in the 1st inning had a 4 unassisted. Gabby Allen popped out to the 2nd baseman, and she's going to first pitch. She's going to go to the 3rd baseman. It's going to be a close play, but she's going to be out at first base. 1 pitch, 1 out, 5-3 put out. 1 pitch, 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. 8 outs to go.
Is your batter, followed by Beeman.
Down 4-1. Cora Varlin steps in. Off to the left and foul. Unfortunately, Varlin was a victim of a strikeout in the third inning. As you look around the infield depth is about normal. Outfield, the left field, there's a little bit deep, and everybody else playing about average depth. Off to a little dribbler off to the right side. That was going to be a nice, easy play. Put out 4-3 for out number 2. Brings us to top of the lineup. Ava Bieneman, top of the lineup. We finally made it to the third time through here. Bieneman had a dribbler to the first baseman in the first inning and a hit in the second. Last time we had this lineup up, they had 3 hits in a row. We had an RBI. The All-In Pioneers showed us the way that we were able to get a ball out of the ballpark today. And that one's going to be driven straight over the right fielder's head to the fence. Bieneman wheels around first, speeding around second base, and she's going to have a stand-up triple for Bieneman.
Bieneman with a triple off the fence.
Stand-up triple for Ava Bieneman brings up the number 2 hitter, Hartman. Hartman had a hit in the third inning, and the first inning popped out to the shortstop. So see if we can have a redo of the bottom of the third inning, but get a couple more runs out of it. Again, third time through the batting order is usually a magical time for the Lady Leafs. And that one's going to be driven in the left side. And again, Hartman with another hit and an RBI. Drives in Bieneman for a run. Cuts the lead in half, 4-2. Bailey Mitchell steps in.
Mitchell is your batter.
Mitchell ground out to second base in the first inning with a hit in the third and an RBI. 1 for 2 on the day. And that one's a little bit outside for ball number 1. Looked like she wanted to throw her fist up, but didn't. Hartman at first, 2 outs. Lead got cut in half. Two balls, no strikes. I'll say the same thing again. If you're going to swing on a 2-0 pitch, swing as hard as you possibly can at your pitch. That wasn't your pitch. That was a touch outside, or a little low. Mitchell steps in, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball down low.
3-1 on the batter.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first base.
Thomas on deck.
Bailey Mitchell steps in. And that one's going to be ball 4.
Who gets the walk.
So she advances. Runners at first and second. Mary Thomas is stepping in with runners at first and second. Had a weird ground out to the catcher, 2-3, and a short second baseman. So Mary has had a less than desired day, so she can come out here and come up big here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one's a little bit to the outside. We're going to be able to get a nice big swing out of Mary here. See if Mary can drive one somewhere hard. And that one's going to be to the left side. That one's going to be a tough play by a shortstop. She's going to throw it right over the head of the shortstop. Mary Thomas wheels around first base. Runner's going to score. So that cuts the lead to 4-3. Got the shortstop backhanded the ball beautifully and airmailed it over the head of the first baseman. First baseman didn't really have a chance, but we're going to call it an error.
We have
Runners at second and third with another run scored. Hard hit ball, but certainly a playable ball. But we've had our fair share of some negative things that went on today, so now we're kind of evening the score a little bit here. So again, the lead got pulled to
The
4-3
ladies
with
play here
2 outs.
tomorrow night versus DeKalb. Game time 4:30.
Coach Ebner calls timeout.
And it's senior night.
At this point in time, I'm not a softball coach, but I have to imagine he's out there
The
telling them
only
that everybody's got to
game
calm down a little bit.
has been
You know, just
rescheduled.
make the plays behind the pitcher. We're fine.
So as I know it, we play Ottawa on Thursday at 4:30 and Princeton at Princeton Friday.
Runners at
4:30.
second and third.
Both
Thomas at
Ottawa and
second.
Princeton are
McAvoy
away.
at third. Sorry, Mitchell at third. McAvoy is going to be our batter. Nope. They're going to pull
We have
McAvoy back.
runners at second, third.
And this is
With
going
two
to
away.
be Delaney Ostrowski is going to make an appearance today, and she's going to pinch hit at this point in time for Eden McAvoy. I'm assuming that McAvoy will be going back in. I have to imagine that Ostrowski's really geared up here. Hopefully she can see at least one pitch before swinging, but if it's a good pitch, I hope she hits it out of the ballpark.
2 outs and 2 on.
4-3 is your count. First hit in about 2 weeks. And that one's going to be a hard single. And that one's going to be Mary Thomas is wheeling around second base, third base, and Ostrowski's stuck between first and second, and she's going to skirt back in, and he's going to be safe. I think she's actually out, but she's going to be safe because the umpire was clearly out of the play. But we're going to call that one good for us. Ostrowski, first appearance in 2 weeks with with 2 RBI single. Allows the Leafs to pull ahead 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th inning, all with 2 outs. Spindle's up, Ostrowski at first. Hard hit ball. Nice to have her back in the lineup. And there's Spindle, deep drive, way back. That one's gonna right at the fence for out number 3. Excellent play by the center fielder. The center fielder, number 13, Courtney Young. But at any rate, that pulls the lead. It's 4 runs scored to 5-4. Lady Leafs going into the top of the 6th inning. And we are not on break till after the 6th, right? Okay. This gives us plenty of opportunity here to give us a sponsor list, especially since I'm by myself today. All right. TV 50 broadcast, TV 60 broadcast, that's the other channel. Don't worry about that one. That's the new channel that keeps starting. It's a collegiate channel. All right. We're going to be putting on different games. All right. Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson, Jolene Barnes of Country Financial, Turpin's of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn and Cyclery, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, Protec Auto Body, Borac Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank, Pink's Paint and Body, Edwards Ready Mix. Brings us to the top of the 6th inning. And it looks like, I don't know if this is Guerrero or Young. Looks like Young is batting in the top of the 6th inning. Narup's back on out. So the Leafs grinded out an inning here and scored a run on one big error. Well, we've had a couple errors too that allowed a couple runs, so everything's even now, even Steven in our world. 1-1's the count, 5-4. Lady Leafs, top of the 6th inning. Narup needs 6 outs to close the game, which is the toughest outs of the game, obviously. Here's the pitcher. Nice, easy step and throw for out number 1. 1-3 for out number 1. Brings up the Alleman pitcher, Kylie McConville. McConville had a really brilliant day on the mound. Unfortunately, had a play behind her that allowed a few runs in, but at any rate, she had a great day on the mound so far and has a chance to win the game still. McConville off to the right side, and that one's going to be in the gap. Bicey running out to the fence, off the fence, and they're going to throw the ball in. Nice play by the right fielder. Holds McConville to a single when it potentially looked off like a double right off the bat. But the ball was hit so hard It went to the fence so fast that Bicey was able to get it, and McConville had to hold up with the threat of being thrown out at second base.
Emma Kindlesberger will be running at first base.
Kindlesberger, Emma, number 11, is running for McConville. Jessica Trout steps in. Trout, a victim of a K in the 5th inning and a hit with an RBI in the 2nd. Runner at first base, 1 out. See if we can stop this threat right out of the gate. Off to the shortstop. It's going to be tagged to first, and we're going to be a nice double play to end the inning, just what the doctor ordered. A ball off of Trout's bat just happened to be right next to the bag where Bieneman is able to spin a double play.
Well, the Leafs come to bat here in the 6th.
Really not much Jessica Trout could have done in that occasion. It was just a beautiful play by Bieneman, and Trout was motoring down the line as fast as she could, but she was so close to the bag. Bieneman took 1 step, put the foot on the bag, and drilled the throw over to Spindle for out number 3. Brings us to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, again, the 3rd time through the batting order seems to be magic for the Leafs. It happened again that top of the bottom of the 5th inning. Now we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning with Kennedy Bicey, Gabby Allen, and Cora Varlin. Seems like when we see a bunch of pitches, we seem to be getting a lot better. So that's kind of the way, that's the story of the season so far. If we can get to the 3rd time through, we have a much better opportunity to get some hits. Because quality teams like this, that's what usually happens. And the JV game right now, the Alleman Pioneers are in the top of the 5th inning, holding a 4-3 lead with no outs as of this point in time. Kennedy Bicey, shortstop out in the 2nd inning, and an unassisted 3rd baseman pop out in the 4th. 3rd time through, Kennedy Bicey in. 1 ball, no strikes. See if Kennedy can get a hold of one here. Ball a little bit low. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Lady Leafs, and maybe we can get to the top of the order with 1 person on. And that one's going to be fouled off. Again, not a beautifully played ball game today by the Lady Leafs, but we've been able to grind out a couple runs when we needed to, putting us up 5-4. Again, a heroic play by Ostrowski coming in after not batting for 2 weeks and drilling a single to the left side, driving in the tying and the go-ahead run.
In the 5th inning. 2-2 on the batter, leading it off.
Bicey off to the left side, shortstop scoop, score and throw, and that was closer than it probably needed to be, but it's an out at any rate, 6-3 for out number 1. Bicey was scooting down the line pretty quick there and made that a closer play than it probably needed to be. Gabby Allen steps in, popped out to the second baseman in the 3rd, and had a play 3rd base to 1st in the 5th inning. So Allen steps in, 1-0 count. Off to the left. That was going to be trouble for the shortstop because that was just beat into the ground like it was thrown on a roadway or something. It popped straight on up. I think fielded cleanly, it was going to be a hit anyway. Feel sorry for that shortstop because she was in no man's land. She had no way to judge which that was going to be. I'm going to call that one a hit because I don't think she was going to get her out anyway. So Allen's at first base with a hit. Varlin steps in. Strike on the inside corner. Varlin had a strikeout in the 3rd and grounded out to the second baseman in the 5th. So see if Varlin can get a hold of one here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we can get a bonus run with 1 out. So barring a double play by the Pioneers, we will see the top of the order one more time. And that one's driven to the left side. That was way out of there, and it was going to hit a car, I believe. Nope, almost. Hit a girl. Oops. She should have had her glove on. Maybe she could have got a stick of licorice or something.
Out and run on first.
0-2 is your count. And that one is going to be, woo, I tell you what, that was closer than it needed to be again. Allen went a little bit too far off base. Boy, that the catcher, Parker, zipped that ball down there.
Close there, first base. Let's see back.
Called her out on the swing.
What happened there?
They appealed and called her out on the swing.
Oh, man. Well, apparently Varlin must have had a check swing. They called her out in the swing, so it was a strikeout by Varlin. Brings up Bieneman. And now Bieneman single to center, and he's catched by the center fielder. Allen wheels around second. She's going to be centered home. Rusk with the windmill home, and Bieneman with her second triple of the day. Bieneman's hotter than a firecracker. Second triple of the day with another RBI. Allen all the way from first base. Scores. An extra run on the day, and see if Hartman can keep her hot hitting up too. The last couple times through this top of the order have been really good for the Lady Leafs. Hartman with 2 hits on the day and an RBI.
Hartman is your batter.
I thought Coach Rusk was going to tear a rotator cuff spinning his arm that fast on third base. He was really urging Gabby Allen to run. Off to the right and foul. The Alleman center fielder made a super attempt. About the only thing she could do is make a super attempt to try to get that ball. And unfortunately, it bounced underneath her glove and skirted past her. And we have one of the fastest girls on the entire field running, so there wasn't much you could do about that. As soon as it got by her, triple was written in the books. 1-1's your count. A little bit high. That makes the score 6-4. A big 4-run inning last inning for the Lady Leafs. When we got one in here, so we've scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings. See if we can get another run to push this lead. Hartman steps in, 3-1 count. That one, she coaxes a walk out of the Alleman pitcher. Again, that wasn't anything that was harmful. That base was open anyway. 1 out, 1 first and third's the count. First and third on the runners. Brings up Bailey Mitchell. Didn't have to come right at her. Not a harm walking somebody with the base open. Mitchell with a base on balls, a hit and an RBI, and a ground out to the second baseman on the day. See if she can tie into one. And that one's tied into the left side. Bieneman scores. And Hartman at second base. Mitchell comes through with a hit and an RBI. Hit and an RBI. So that's her second hit on the day. 2 RBIs in the day. Brings up Mary Thomas, who advanced on an error last time. Thomas been a little dry today, 0 for 2 with an error, but it did have a run scored. So the Lady Leafs have scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings. See if Mary Thomas can tie into one here. Terry Thomas to the right side. Oh, a hard shot. Kind of a snow cone play by the second baseman, but again, for out number 3. And that's going to take us to our break with the Lady Leafs up 7-4.
This TV 50 broadcast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Jolene Barnes of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Communications, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Borac Pharmacy, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank, Pink's Paint and Body, Edwards Ready Mix. Please thank our sponsors for their support of this TV50 broadcast.
All right, we're going to be here into the top of the 7th inning. The Lady Leafs, over 6 runs scored over the last 2 innings, have pulled out in front 7-4. Bringing up the bottom of the batting order 9-1-2. Alicia Cassis, who hit a home run, a towering home run to right last at bat. And that one bounced in and killed the mascot, but that one's maybe a purpose pitch because she hit a home run. No, I can't say that. We can't do that. That's a Major League Baseball thing, wasn't it? You can't do a drive back pitch in softball. I don't think. Maybe you can. I don't think it was on purpose though. Cassis with a home run last at time. We'll just keep one away from her. 1-1's the count. Talking in between innings here during the commercial break that you know, we have the Lady Leafs haven't played exceptional today, but this was one of those grinded out games we said earlier in the broadcast that we just needed to keep on keeping on and not get our heads stuck in the sand and just grind out a couple runs here and there and stick with it. And I guess again the 5th and 6th inning we came up big, and that's out number 1. 3 unassisted for out number 1 in the 7th inning. Brings up the top of the batting order Ferrari. And with 2 more outs, the Lady Leafs can probably win one that wasn't pretty. But Chicago White Sox won a World Series doing that one time. Ferrari advanced on an error and then had 2 ground out, a pop out and a ground out on the day.
6-4 in the 5th inning for the JVs.
Ferrari steps in. 1 out, top of the 7th. Narup has done a masterful job. Bieneman airmails the throw, but Spindle is able to just barely gain a little ground and then come back on the bag for out number 2. Again, this hasn't been pretty, but with 1 more out, we can put this one on the good side of the card for the Lady Leafs. Narup, you got to tip your cap, put a feather in her cap. She came in and settled down the whole program here, barring a beautiful home run by Cassis. Left side, all the way to the fence by Steins. And Steins is going to have back-to-back doubles in the last 2 innings. Sorry, the 5th inning she had a double too. Back-to-back doubles by Madison Steins. So the Pioneers are not done yet, as we knew they wouldn't be. Coach Ebner will never let these guys go down without a fight. Avery Schmidt pops straight up, and this one with a catch by the center fielder is going to be a W for the Lady Leafs. And again, with 6 runs in the last 2 innings and a beautiful performance by Anna Narup, the Lady Leafs ground out a victory today, 7-4 versus the Lady Pioneers of Alleman. Tomorrow night, if you're able to come and the weather cooperative, it is senior night. We have 4 seniors on our roster. We certainly like to give them as much honor as you could possibly give them. And please come on out at 4:30 start versus the DeKalb Lady Barbs, and have a great night, and hopefully there's no bad storms.